These are the 4-digit LED displays that you will need. You can use either one. They both work fine. This is an overview of everything you will need to complete this project. You will need 6 LEDs, any color. You pick your colors. Get 2 Arduino Nanos, 2 push buttons. Whenever you print out, make sure you print out 2 legs with holes and 2 legs without holes. You're going to need a pinball machine from the dollar store, now the $1.25 store. A glue gun, some glue sticks. This is what the wiring looks like for the inside of the machine, but don't worry, there'll be another tutorial. You're going to need several of these breadboards and some solid core 22 gauge wire. It needs to be solid core. Also a 9-volt snap, 9-volt snap. That powers the whole project. You're going to need just some plastic. This is for the buttons later, I'll show you. You're going to need a cereal box. I like the cardboard from the cereal box. Now, to open the pinball machine, it just slides open in the back. So just slide that out. Take your balls, put them in a safe spot. You're going to want to mark the bottom 3 pins here. That's where LEDs are going to go. Take your cardboard insert, put it back in there, press down on top of where those pins were that you just marked. See where the indentions are? We're going to make holes there. So take your ice pick and make some holes. The ice pick is the perfect size to make these LED holes. Now you're going to want eye protection or an adult to cut these little pieces out. Get them as close as you can down there, closer even than this, because the LEDs are going to go in that spot and you don't want them pressing down on the LEDs. Next, we're going to take that little insert and put it over, line it up better than this, and take a pencil and mark where the spots are. So you know where to put your holes. You're going to need an adult for this. You're going to light that candle and heat up that ice pick and burn the holes. Melt those holes. Just like that. Now grab your LEDs and I want you to look at the LEDs here. One side is longer than the other. The long side is the positive, the short side is the negative. You do not want to mix these up. So take a marker, mark one side. I marked negative. And we're going to put them through the holes just like this. And once they're in there, I'm going to flip this thing over and spread them apart just like that. See why it's important to mark one side? You would never know which side is which if you didn't mark it. Next, you grab some parchment paper. Then we're going to make the pattern for the cereal box. So just lay it across like so. Take that other plastic piece and stick it on there. It'll hold it in place. Now, I like to use magnets to, have that extra little hold in the back, but you can use tape or whatever works for you. Now you're going to trace the outside edges and the inside arc, and then you're going to cut that out and put it on top of your cereal box. And then you're going to cut that out. Cut out your cereal box. And you put your stickers on the outside of the cereal box. Then we're going to take our glue gun and we're going to glue that on top of the plastic. And also now would be a good time to glue the top part onto the bottom part, just to hold it in place while you do the rest of your measurements. It's a lot easier. Now you're going to want to take your wires and make sure you cut enough wire to go from the LEDs to the inside of that box. You're going to want to make sure that both ends are clear so that you can solder or tape them. Next, you take your little cardboard box, you cut a square, and you measure it to the front. And on the inside, you want to make a square on the inside so that whenever you start drawing things and putting on your stickers and stuff, you stay inside the box for the LEDs. Make a square for this LED, cut out the hole, and leave a little space. Leave that space so that it's got something to sit on when you slide it in there, just to help hold it. It's a nice little shelf. Put your LEDs, make little holes, pop your LEDs in there. Make sure everything stays inside that box that you drew. Now, wire up your LEDs on your pinball machine. See, now the LEDs are going to go right over where those little holes were, like that, see? So if you didn't cut it short enough, it's going to push on your LEDs and mess them up. Now, in order to get this back on, it's a little tricky. You're going to have to kind of push the ends together and make like a little arc and kind of wedge it in there. And once you start getting it in there, it's not too hard to push it the rest of the way. Make sure you put your balls back in before you do all that, though. Now, you want to take your end of the thing with the hole, the leg with the hole, and stick it in the front. Now, see, there's holes here, and the leg is hollow. So you should be able, this is where the button goes, push the button wires through here, through there, through the leg, and out through the bottom. Now, that sounds very confusing. So here's how it goes. You're going to take the wire, push it through the hole, push it up through the top of the hollow leg. Then you're going to take it and push it through the bottom and through the side where the button is. Okay? We're just measuring the wire here. We're not doing anything else. We need to make sure that the wire is long enough to go from here where the button is all the way up to the inside of the pinball machine. Now, mark these wires if you have to with a marker, yellow and green, whatever. It doesn't matter. As you can see here, there's a lot more wires than there are colors. I had to color several of them. Also, after you solder these on, you're going to want to put these little, I'm not sure what they're called, but you stick them on there and then you heat them up, and it's better than electrical tape. Here's what they look like. I'm sorry, I don't know the name of them. I just buy them. And here's how you do that. You measure it up. Oh, sorry, that's my doggy. It's Cody. Anyway, you use a heat tool or a hair dryer. I hear a hair dryer works, but you use it on the lowest setting. Now, what you want to do is you want to take your little clip, you put it through the end that's not soldered, slide it all the way down the wire. And then once it's there, you get it in place, push it all the way up. Get them both on there at the same time. Then you use your heat gun or your hair dryer on the lowest setting and then just kind of go over it, and it'll shrink down on top of there, and it'll make a nice cover so that you don't short things out. It's super nice. I wish I could remember what they were called. I'm so sorry for that. Next, you take your plastic here and you cut a little section of it out. Now, the point is we're going to want to cover this hole where the button goes through. See that? That's what we're trying to accomplish. So once you figure out the basic shape, you cut that square off, and here's these buttons. Make sure you get the kind with the little screw things on them. See that? You're going to want that ring back on the back, and then you're going to make a hole in your plastic big enough to push through the button. Do it twice. Also, you're going to have to clip off the back part to make it so it lays flat. Then put your ring on, put your plastic on, and then after you get that all pushed down, screw that little top part on. It should look like that. Now we put the button wires through all those holes that we just measured the space for. See, put it in through the side, then down through the bottom. Then you're going to want to push it through the leg and out through the side. Now make sure that hole is pointing towards the inside of the pinball machine or the back side, whichever. Just you're going to end up taping the wires underneath. So see how it goes on the inside of the machine here? That's the main goal. Also, you're going to want to make sure that your button doesn't push too far in. You want your pinball machine to be able to sit down flat on there. So make sure that your wires line up. All right, glue your little display thing on the top there so that all of your parts are there. Watch the next video to see how you wire all of that up. And please go to EPO to buy all of your electronic needs. They really need your business and really appreciate your support. Thank you so much for watching.